Welcome to the Shamrock Show. Sit down, have a listen, and go fuck yourself.
The Shamrock Show.
I wish you were over, man. You know, it's always a good time when you make your way over, but everything's fucked up right now anyway. Everything's all closed. You guys were here. You were here with Paul on the event that got canceled where this whole thing started, yeah? Remember?
Wow, yeah. I mean,
It was
that
last March.
kind of
That
wow.
was
How a year's changed the whole world, Sean the Shamrock. How
Yeah.
a year's changed the world.
just when that was all happening, I couldn't believe what was going on. And they were like, oh, they're gonna have the fights, and then they're like, well, we're gonna have the fights with no fans, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, no fights.
Wow, it was a big shock. And you know what? And Semtex was in a zone. He's ready for that Hamasi because he escaped him once. Second time, he's having it.
Yeah.
And now third time, unlucky for Hamasi.
Yeah. I forgot that it's the same fight that was supposed to be made, yeah? Because
yeah, isn't it?
a little behind the scenes, I remember that day Dustin Poirier was with Samad Hamasi, right? And Paul and
Yeah.
Dustin almost had a little nobody knows about that.
No. All I said was, I don't think no one wanted to fight Semtex Daily when he was in the zone. That's all I'm gonna say. He was in the zone, and hey, no messing with Paul. Because all I'm gonna say is Paul's alpha. If he goes, he goes. So no wanted to challenge him. Okay, peace out.
Yeah. Well, that puts a little extra heat on this fight, though, because I know you guys didn't forget that. I'm sure they didn't forget that. That puts a little extra heat on the fight. Paul hasn't fought since then, though, has he?
Semtex is spicy. What a fighter. You talk about football, Jamie Vardy's, your Ronaldo's, your Messi. You talk about striking skills. You got Paul Semtex Daily, 33 knockouts, most knockouts in MMA history. But people don't want to promote it like that, do they? You got the badass striker in the whole world. Facts,
33 knockouts. Damn, that's wild. I think Hamasi's a tough kid, but I think he's in for a bad night, man. Especially Paul's been ready for him for over a year,
Yeah. Semtex focus like this. Woo! It's going to be a very exciting fight to watch. Absolutely, for fight fans, for sure. Like myself, I'm a fight fan. What a fight to watch. All I know, laughs a fight. I can't speak for Paul. I'm speaking about myself. Laughs a fight. I know Paul Daly can just go anytime. He's like we call them assassins or SAS, special air services. That's the kind of man you're dealing with Paul Semtex Daly, and that's the truth, hand on heart. I know what the man can do. He's a dangerous man.
Oh no doubt about it. I was just saying though, he's been out for a while. He hasn't got to fight in this whole time, right? There hasn't been.
The last fight was supposed to be a year ago with the guys fighting now, but
right.
How is sure get back in there? I'm sure there's going to be fireworks,
Yeah. How has training been able to be like? What's the gym situation? Because I know I spoke with James Gallagher, and he moved from Ireland to America because the gyms in Dublin are all shut down. You guys are dealing with the same.
Yeah. Because obviously Ireland's only 45 minutes away from East Midlands Airport, so same. But just now, funny enough, Sean the Shamrock, it's all opened up now. The gyms, you got spacing and the bars are allowed open, so now we're just slowly everyone's getting vaccinated up. I think with Great Britain as a country is the third highest amount of people using vaccination. So NHS has done fantastic, and everything's going well, Sean.
Well, every half the people over here think that the vaccines are like a government conspiracy to control your brain and shit. So we're not doing so well with the vaccine in America.
If depends which left hand or your right hand. But all I know, France and Italy, they didn't want our vaccine. They're all back in lockdown, and we're going to go out, for pubs in the beer gardens. So, my cousin works in critical care in Leicester General Royal, and she goes, come along and hey, the whole world shut down, you know.
Yeah.
Come along to work with my cousin, and she will tell you, you know, it's not a pretty sight if you get this. So.
And so I want to double back because we were talking before we were recording. How did you link up with Paul? How did this whole thing start?
Oh, back in 2010, and I used to fight in Thailand. I left the British Army, and my Thai instructor came over, messaged me again, and yeah, Paul Daly's the main guy. Anyway, Paul's had him as a seminar and a pad man, and basically I just went around with Pachette as his translator, you know, and you know they're doing the pads, and you know, wow, Semtex there is a big oar, you know, he's the main guy, he's the bomber. You know, you look up to a man like this, the British bomber, and Pachette finished training with Paul, and he goes, I want to hit some pads. Hey, David, you hold pads. You know, I've touched me. You hold pads. Oh, okay, Pachette. And I've held the pads. Bang, elbows. He's fucking going all in. But bloody hell, Pachette. But obviously him going mean made me look good in the pads. So then Semtex, you know, he's going full in. I'm in protection mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I look good, and Semtex goes, yeah, you're looking pretty good. And texts me and goes, oh, you know, I've got a free day here if you'd like to come and be me pad man. You know, obviously he's got his senseis and everyone else, but yeah, I came along, just held the pads, and wow, what a beautiful journey. Meeting friends like yourself and to travel the world. And, you know, I can remember the first fight was, you know, to go to America, Florida, to fight Rudy Bears, going to Florida, little Dave from Shep Shed, going to Florida. I mean, how phenomenal. What a phenomenal moment.
That's awesome, man. And I think that, you know, like when I've talked with Brennan and stuff, like, and just other fighters I know, at the end of the day, yeah. When it's all said and done, it's the travel, it's the memories, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Money comes and goes. You know, money comes and goes, but memories are for life, you know.
Right.
Doesn't matter when I was in the army. You know, I had the worst times. I'm getting shot by the Taliban, but you're with your mates, and you can't recreate that moment. So, you know, yeah, it's a beautiful memory, Sean. You know, me and you going out for a drink the night before COVID shut down.
Yeah. Remember the casino was like a ghost town, and it was like the four of us just rolling around, and you know they hadn't talked about shutting things down yet. You know, I remember I was sitting at a bar with my friend Ian from Bellator. He's the medical guy, and they canceled the NBA basketball. We were like, oh my god, they canceling basketball, and then like, I mean, you know, just never would have thought that a year later we're sitting here.
Donald Trump came on, cancelling all flights. Not bloody hell, we're going to be stuck in America. What do we do? I thought, well, we'll go and hang out with Sean and Shamrock and Brennan Ward. They're my boy, mate.
Yeah, man.
What a place.
Fight week at Mohegan is always a good time, man. Whenever you know the boys come into town, you know, you guys come into town, we always have a fucking good time, bro. Yeah, you know, I remember having, you know, talk a little more inside scoop. I remember having to pull you away from MVP outside the pub one night at the casino.
Don't be saying no. It's my dancing partner. He can move.
He can move.
He didn't let my motor. He's a cool guy. Cool, you know.
We were jumping on couches that night. We had the you guys had the table, remember? Like that was a wild night.
Great outing, you know, and beautiful memories as well to go on the dance floor with, you know, amazing people around you. You know, we ain't done that for the last year and a half or whatever, you know. So
right.
You know,
and an early happy birthday for you. The pubs are opening up just in time. Your man Semtex is going to get a big knockout for your birthday week, right? It all goes well.
Wow, absolutely. You know, I mean, what a fight card you've got there, Sean the Shamrock. You know, you got Semtex Daly. You know, third time lucky against Hamasi. You know, he's had 33 knockouts, most knockouts in MMA history, as you say. Who would want to fight him? Who's going to stand with him?
Yeah, I you know, and I'm not even being biased because I got you here. I just don't think Hamasi's got the tools to get it done. You know, like, you know, when you go against Paul Daly, you're in for a long night. You got to make But you look at like what John Fitch did, like that. It's terrible to watch. Nobody's interested in that, but that's the only way you're going to hang with Paul. And I, I don't believe that Hamasi
Yeah,
has the
don't let him
skills.
in. You're just hold him.
Remember when Paul was
Yeah, you
booing
ain't gonna
off his
fight that, man.
backhand? Paul was booing when he was on the ground, because Fitch was just holding on to him. Yeah, yeah.
And
I
you
don't
know
see.
what? And what a wonderful character.
I don't see this getting out of the
Legends
second
live
round,
on.
bro.
Nah, I mean,
So you got the 205, the light heavyweight tournament going on, right? We just had Bader Machida
Wow.
just fought last weekend. Bader looked really, really good. Machida looked every bit of 43, though. He was tired after
yeah,
a round, unfortunately. His kicks look good, his hands look slow.
yeah. Unfortunately, when you're getting a bit older, the speed does go. But you find Ryan Bader, for the beast. So, and who you got in the fight, Sean? Who you got in the fight, Sean Shamrock? What's your predictions,
So
mate?
I don't know this guy that Corey Anderson's fighting. I heard he's nasty. I can't even Yagsha Muradov. I can't even pretend to say his name, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of them one.
Yeah, but anytime I see a guy whose name ends with a V, he's usually pretty good. Any kind of Omega Man, any of these guys that have yeah. So I'm gonna go with. I think he's gonna upset Corey Anderson. I'm gonna go with that. But I've never seen him fight. I don't know anything about him. But I'll take any.
No, I'm with you there, Sean. I'm with you there, Sean.
Yeah, anytime you got one of these Russian, Dagestani, Habib, you got an Ov in the end of your name. We're not fighting, forget it.
Wrestling bears at 3 to 5 years old.
Yeah, nah. But the main event, the champion Vadim Nemkov, who looked incredible against Ryan Bader, against Phil Davis, who. Phil Davis is another guy who wins all the time, and it's tough to watch. He'll smother you. He slows the fight down a lot. He's had some knockouts in Bellator, though. He did, King Mo, and with Linton Vassell, who's a good guy, man. And unfortunately, a guy who I really like, a friend of yours, Liam McGeary had a rough night out against him. So, I mean, he's got the ability, but he tends to fade sometimes.
Yes, I mean, as you say, but he's got this heavyweight tournament without Liam McGeary. I find that very interesting, and what a phenomenal fighter he is. And
incredible,
can hit as well. Fuck.
Yeah. Have you talked to Liam at all? I don't know how his jaw is doing because it broke. And then they had to re-break it, right? He had to have surgery twice on it.
I'm not. All I know, that guy's mentally hard, and to come back, and he'll come back, and is a soldier in himself.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him fight again. I love that dude, man, and his jiu-jitsu is so slick. That submission that he hit Tito Ortiz with, legendary.
Wow, that Connecticut, yeah, whoa. Well, absolutely. All I know, Liam McGeary's got his own conquest, and once it's all back and running, yeah, dangerous, very dangerous.
Yeah. He's in Hawaii now, yeah.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure where's that at the moment.
He's in Hawaii. It's what I've seen online. Yeah. But yeah, so what do you think?
Phil Davis or the other? Who are you going for? Phil Davis or?
I'm going with the Russian sweep. I'm going with Vadim Nemkov. I'm going with the OV sweep. What do you got? What do you think?
Nemkov all the way, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going for Nemkov. I mean, he's special.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he might end up if he comes out of this tournament, if he wins this tournament, he might come out as being one of these guys that people are talking about, like Patricio being one of the best in the world, not just one of the best in Bellator, If he can get through this tournament, it's a tough ass tournament. We got that exciting matchup with Romero and Rumble coming up, man. That's what a fight that is.
Woo, that's a good fight.
But there's nothing else on this card that really jumped. Nemkov's got a brother that's fighting. He's fighting a guy who's like 0-3 in Bellator. Pedro Carvalho coming back. I'll root for him because he's SPG Ireland. He got flatlined against Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull's an animal.
Yeah, you don't want to fight
Yeah.
that guy, man. You know,
No, he's an animal.
but I'll be rooting for Carvalho for sure. So, what do you think would be next for Daly if he wins this fight, man? He's got to be close to another fight with Lima, man. It's got to be. How can you hold him? How can you hold him back?
That's his path, isn't it? But I tell you something, you know, for Phenom, what a phenomenal fighter he is as well. But they say, look at Semtex knocks out Lorenz Larkin, spinning back, fist bang, you know. Yeah. Lorenz Larkin, that gets, you know, a bit bush under the carpet. No, Semtex knocked him out. Lima goes 5 rounds. I know he can't work like that, but Paul Daly's a banger, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I mean, I know MMA math doesn't always work out, but Lorenz Larkin is no joke. That's a big win. He came out of the UFC on a winning streak. He got the title shot right away to Limo, no question, you know.
And Paul goes to knock him out in the second round, and
you know, spinning back fist and a big left hook.
Not one of them ones.
Yeah, your man's left hook is no joke, bro.
You know, I tell you, some guy who's got 33 knockouts, most in MMA history. You got a name called Semtex. You know, you got the Jamie Vardy's of football, Ronaldo's of football. Your Semtex Daly is your Ronaldo's and Jamie Vardy's. You know, he comes to entertain. He's got the most knockouts. You know, put him into UFC. Got George Masvidal who's already beat him. Not so, you know, times move on, but what a rematch, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I obviously have no idea what Paul's future or contract looks like, but I mean, I gotta imagine they would scoop him up if given the chance because there's just so that 170 division is so stacked. It's automatic fireworks. You put him in there because there's just a lot of bangers at 170, man. Like, you know, like I said,
excited to watch, you know,
the 10-year anniversary of the Nick Diaz fight. You get the Nate Diaz fight, right? You got to do it.
Wow, you know, but we love 209s. They're bad boys, you know, and you can't, you know, in the sport, you know, you got your Paul Semtex Daly's, your Douglas Lima, your Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz. You know, these names have come, you know, off your top of your tongue as real fighters. Brennan Ward, you know, Chuck Liddell's. You know, there's a certain amount of people, George Masvidal's, who you go to watch into. You know they're going to come for a fight, and these men are special men, special human beings.
Well, absolutely. Those are all the kind of guys that would do it, whether there was a TV show, like a camera or not, right? Like, you know, you set Paul Daly is a fighter. Like, he's going to, you know, you set up a fight for him. He's going to take the fight. He doesn't need to be because of the fans or because of this or that. You know, I mean, at this point in his career, obviously, you know, you want to make money, but at his heart, at his root, he's got 60 fights, man. You don't get 60 fights by not liking a fight.
I mean, what a record, and you know, it's phenomenal. What he's achieved in the sport, you know, talking as a friend, and you know, it's an honour to know the man. You know, special forces, that guy. That's all I say. You know, I tell you something. We'd like to see your boy and our boy Brennan Ward back in there.
Yeah, I think we'll see Brendan fight again. I haven't talked to him in quite some time, but I think he's doing really good. I've heard he's been doing some training. You know, I'll always wish the best for him. I haven't seen him or talked to him in a while, but I know that he's got some desire to still do it. You know, he's not happy about how it all kind of ended. You know, had some tough breaks, and I mean, you know, his last MMA fight against Fernando Gonzalez. I don't know if you saw that fight, but I thought it was the best he ever looked. You know,
his stand-up was brilliant. Brilliant. He got caught for choke. Me and my dad were gutted. Took him down. He shouldn't have took him down. He was bashing him. No disrespect to Gonzalez, hard bastard. But Brennan Ward was fucking doing him. You know.
Yeah.
He was doing phenomenal.
I thought he looked great that night. He looked calm, you know, and he didn't get the knockout, but his striking looked crisp. Defensively, he was there. You know, I was like, phenomenal. I thought it was the best he ever looked. You know, even though he lost, I thought he looked really good. You know, and I think
absolutely on Paul.
Yeah. You know, it's just, you know, the life. There's a lot of things behind the scenes, and I think he'll be back, man. I'd love to see him back. Those guys should train together. It would be dope. We'll take a trip over to the UK. You know.
Oh wow, that would be an honor, wouldn't it? Absolutely, 100%. You know, Absolutely. Yeah, good times, good times. You know, I was even thinking stay on, you know, in Connecticut last year, train with you and Brennan Ward, you know, and it just the COVID hit out, but hey, positivity, and we have health, and God bless Jesus Christ, we're all great in a safe place, you know, from America to Ireland to Great Britain to the world, we're in a good place. So, you know, hopefully one day we'll be back soon.
Do you have any interest in Ben Askren and Jake Paul?
Absolutely, I think, yeah, you know, I want to see the fight. Yeah, why not?
Right.
I like Ben Askren. The weird mouth, yeah.
My
Cool.
My original reaction to it was, one, that I didn't care about it, and two, that I thought that Ben Askren was getting knocked out. But the more I keep thinking about it, and the more, like, I'm interested now. They got me hooked. I want to watch it. I want to see what happens. You know,
Absolutely.
you know, I mean, if Ben Askren, it depends on what the referee does, right? If Ben Askren is allowed to make it a little bit dirty, rough him up just a little bit, and he's still hanging around round 6, round 7, this kid ain't going to be around. This kid can hit. This kid can definitely crack. There's no doubt about it. But can he fight? Can he really fight?
Well, the time will tell. He's 3-0 into Jake Paul. But, you know, talk about a different outlook on life, but how great this Jake, you know, he's only had 3 fights, but how great he's done just by internet, how internet's changed this life, you know. You know, sometimes you don't have to be a certain guy, but if you're good on the internet, you get the big money into it, and that's the way things are going at this moment in time in our lives, isn't it? So, you know, the big followings and the big fan bases.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different thing. It's just based on people want to watch a celebrity fight, you know, and they want to see what's up. And you know,
old school.
I mean, he picked the right guy. If he can beat him, you know, he picked the guy with probably the worst stand-up in history, you know. But I mean, and you can't take anything from Ben's wrestling. He's an incredible wrestler. But his stand-up was, you know, you go out there and you get to tell people you knocked out a former Bellator champion, you know. if he gets that win.
He's chosen the right path, you know. Yeah. But then, you know, we've got a big fight coming up. We've got the greatest Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua coming in Great Britain, or it's going to be in Dubai, or what a fight that's going to be.
I think Tyson Fury smokes him
all day long. Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah. I'm not a believer in Joshua. I think Joshua would lose to Deontay Wilder too. I'm not a believer in Wilder either, but I think that Tyson Fury is the cream of the crop. But he's man. I never saw a Muhammad Ali fight, obviously, but Tyson Fury is the best moving heavyweight I ever saw. I've never seen a heavyweight move like Tyson Fury.
Oh, his head movement's phenomenal, and you know the story of his life, you know, and it can touch many people's hearts. You know, the guy, you know, hit rock bottom. You know, he was going to go one way. You know, he looked on his knees and looked to Jesus Christ, and to come back. You know, the story of that is, you know, it's out. You know, it's phenomenal. You know, sometimes it brings a tears to my eye. You know, but what a man, and you know, I'm all heart for Tyson Fury. What a man, honestly. What a man.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him too. He looks amazing. He's in like incredible shape right now.
Yeah, absolutely, Sean. Yeah. You know, the boy.
If they could have had that fight. Oh, yeah. Come on. You know, Snatch, the movie. If they could have had that fight in England, that would have been massive. If they could have had crowds, you know, you put that in a stadium in England, that would have been the biggest sporting event you ever seen.
Yeah, again, knock-on effect COVID. We'd have to watch it on TV maybe, but hey, what a spectacular that is, you know.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through to talk some fight, man. I miss you. I can't wait till you're back in the States, bro.
Shamrock. God bless you, brother. Okay.
What's your official prediction for Daly? What's your official prediction?
Semtex Daly by knockout, sir.
Round 2? Does the kid get a round?
Woo! Is Semtex play? I don't know. You know, Paul's his own man, his own mind. Is he going to play with him, or is he going to play for a kill? Woo! Time will tell. But I tell you something: 33 knockouts. the most in MMA history. The boys coming strong into, sir.
All right, brother. See you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, God bless Sean Shamrock. Take care, mate.
You too. You too.